शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, ashramites sitting with us around the world at this moment in 622 places through NTV and 18 places through two-way connection in 169 cities in 27 countries. The cities two-way connection having Nayana Seattle, Ohio, Los Angeles, San Jose, New York, Vancouver, Toronto, New Jersey, Redondo Beach, Hyderabad, City Center, Anna Nagar, Taramangalam, Singapore. I welcome all of you with my love and respect. As I announced earlier, today is World Laborers Day, Ramakrishna Missions Inauguration Foundation Day and Nityananda Sangha Foundation Day, Ashrama Day. Amma Ayya came to the ashram. Nityananda was there, but Nityananda Sangha started after. Only after that, two of them came to the ashram. Because Sangha means at least 2-3 people should be there. You cannot start how in Tamil Nadu many political parties are there. Only the president is president, secretary, treasurer, everybody is either the same person or from the same family. You cannot run like a political party, same person. A Sangha needs at least few people. I think it's a nice coincidence. Today is the World Laborers Day because we are being laborers. And I have some more announcement. Sattvic Food Fair Exhibition is organized in Guli, Malaysia. 2,000 people are attending. Organized by our Malaysia Nityananda Dhyana Peetham. Blessings to Ma Nitya Nirantarananda and Rishi Nitya Nirantarananda who are organizing this event. Today morning 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. it is happening. My blessings. It will be successful. Vedic rishis always reached out to common mass through food. Really? See, all our main temples will be associated with one sweet, one prasadam. Food is a very easy way to inspire people. Along with the food, that positive energy is sent. Ramakrishna, whenever devotees come and complain, their spouses are not coming to Ramakrishna, people come and complain to him. The same thing, even in those days. My husband is not allowing me to come to see you, my wife is not allowing me to come to see you. All he will do is he will just take a betel nut and rotate in the hand 2-3 times and give it to them. Go and give this to me. Let him eat. That's all. He will be there in 2 days to touch his feet. She will be there in 2 days to touch his feet. To have his darshan. So food is a very easy way to send the positive energy. Our ancient Vedic tradition used this as a technique. All major temples you will see, there will be some food associated. Kashi, Mittai, Tirupati, Laddu, Palani, Panchamalam. All major temples will have some prasadam where people receive that energy through food. So, we will make this sattvic food fairs as our energy vehicle to spread the energy through food to the whole universe. Already we are studying. I think all our ashrams, temples, centers, once in a while should do this kind of initiatives. Sattvic vegetarian food, prasadam, through Annalaya. Sharing food is one of the major important thing in Vedic tradition. That's Upanishad. The Vedic mantra, Annam Bahuguru Vida, means let us grow huge quantity and share. Annam Bahuguru Vida. This should be the vision statement. All our temples, ashrams, communities should grow food in energy fields without artificial fertilizers or chemicals, using the natural methods in an organic way, and should prepare the food properly, either by cooking or half cooking or raw preparation, by cleaning, cutting, and offer to the divine deities and master and share with the world as much as possible without expecting anything in return. Please understand, this should be the vision statement for Nityananda Annalaya. We will do this as long as people are having hunger. As long as hungry people are there in the planet Earth, so long we will do this mission. Understand? So all our temples, ashrams, communities should keep this as a lifestyle. Even our devotees should have this as a lifestyle. Whoever comes to the house, have this as a lifestyle, sharing food. Tirumoolar, great master, says very clearly, he is the first Natha Yogi of South India. All of them, Chendranatha, Gorakhanatha, all of them lived in North India. First Natha Yogi from Nandinatha Sampradaya. See, Adinatha is Shiva. The first disciple of Natha Sampradaya is Nandinatha Swami, means Nandi. Nandishwara, Nandinatha Swami. From Nandinatha, Parampara starts. One Natha Sampradaya sannyasi, yogi, came to south and entered into the Tirumoolan's body. And Moolan very clearly says, Yavarkumam unnumbodur kaipidi. Whoever is there around you, when you eat, at least a handful of food should be shared. Still I maintain that habit. Even in the car when we go, when this brahmachari is giving snack, I tell them, I first give for all of them, little bit, only then I eat. If you don't give for others and eat by yourself, you may have stomach pain. These are small things taught in the young age, but still I maintain that. So, all our devotees devotees, disciples should have this as a habit. Before eating, you should look around. Whoever is there around you, you should ensure that they already had their food or you share with them. And this concept of Annalaya should be one of our important mission. We should create at least 10,000 Annalaya by 12, 12, 12. Start in as many places as possible the Sattvic food fair exhibitions. At least this 5 items should be there as part of what you serve. 1, Tirupati Laddu, at least little bit. You can make on your own and offer. Pranani Panchamaృతం, Puri Jagannatha's rice, Mahaprasada. Whatever food is offered to Jagannatha, they dry it. The rice is dried in the sun, and that is given as a Mahaprasada. Jagannatha's Mahaprasada and Kasi Mittal and Vibhuti Prasad from Arunachaleshwara. This 5, we'll keep it as a compulsory. When you conduct Annalayas, all these 5 are available in mass. When you share all these 5, we ensure that the Vedic tradition is told. See, when you give all these 5 in a small cup, naturally you will ask, what is this? Then naturally you will talk about all these things. This is the prasada from Tirupati, this is from Pranani, this is from Puri Jagannatha, this is from Vishwanatha, this is from Arunachaleshwara. So the tradition of sharing food will be kept alive with the remembrance of tradition. All our ashrams should encourage more and more Annakuta festivals, means where thousands of items are offered to the deity, or Guru, and served to the devotees and the world. And all our temples and ashrams should start as early as possible. Annamandir, Annalayas. Even if you are not able to start the temple first, start the Annalayas. Means where you cook and serve people. Whoever comes to satsangs should be given food. In the name of Sharada Devi and Annapurna, you should start this habit of Annalaya, Sattvic food fair all over the world. And today I am announcing, I am giving 25 lakh to Tiruvannamalai as a permanent fund. First time. It's a fixed deposit fund. But continuous free feeding of the sadhus. Please understand. As and now, whoever comes to Tiruvannamalai ashram, we are feeding. Per day average 1,200 people get food. Apart from that, we are starting a new service. We are taking the food to the Tiruvannamalai temple. Outside temple, many sadhus sit. For all of them, we are going to start from this May 17th onwards. May 17th is my Enlightenment Day anniversary. We are going to celebrate. First experience day anniversary. I will be going to Tiruvannamalai on that day. We have a mass Dhyana Satsang, 16th and 17th, 2-day festival in Tiruvannamalai. From 16th onwards, 16th night, we are starting serving not only in the ashram, outside the Tiruvannamalai temple. We may be feeding every day 1,000 more people in Tiruvannamalai temple. 1,200 in Tiruvannamalai ashram, our ashram. 1,000 people in Tiruvannamalai temple, which is our temple. 1,000 people in the temple and 1,200 people in the ashram. I wanted this Annam Bahuguru Leela should be revived We should take up this as a mission. These modern day service organizations, not service organizations, business organizations who are hiding in the name of service organizations, go on saying, no, if you give fish to a person, you will only satisfy one hunger of a day. If you teach him how to fish, you will satisfy his hunger forever. So let us give them education. Why don't you give it freely? In the name of education, first they do business. Second thing, alright, after the education, are you able to ensure he is able to get his fish forever? No. Just hiding behind some intelligent grower and doing business. See, somehow you don't want to give food, which is a direct expense. But if you hide yourself behind this grower, no, let us give education. Then you can actually easily make that as a business. Instead of giving fish, let us teach them how to fish. Alright, you will teach them how to fish. It is not that all the fellows who learned how to fish can they go and sit near a lake and put the needle, they get the fish. There are many people who knows how to fish but don't get fish. What to do about it? So I am creating a new proverb. Give them fish till they catch their own fish. Don't escape from that foolish proverb which says, no, instead of giving them fish, teach them how to fish. It is not instead, do both. Teach them how to fish, but till they learn and able to catch their own, give them. So, Annalaya is like an emergency room. You cannot talk philosophy when somebody comes after a snake bite. No, my son, understand, poison does not affect you if your mind is strong. Come on, sit and do samyama on where that poison is happening in your body until the poison becomes nectar. Foolishness. First do emergency, then teach him all your samyama, how to convert poison into nectar. Same way, hunger is emergency. Don't talk philosophy. We will teach you, give you the education, you will become MBA graduate, then you will get a job, and then after the first month of work you will get salary, then your hunger will become alright. Till then, how you will be alive? So you will get the salary for your dead body. I strongly criticize all these so-called social and spiritual service organizations who are hiding in the name of spiritual and social service organization, who do all other service but don't share food. It is business in the name of service. I tell you, the first step for any spiritual social service organization, share food. Annam bahugurvita. I am not saying don't give education, don't give medical care. That all is secondary. Food is emergency. Food is emergency. Annam bahugurvita. Let's revive culture of sharing food all over the world. Whenever you share food, understand, I am there eating the food which you are offering. Any money you give for sharing food, Annalaya, understand, that directly goes to my service. Directly, you are directly serving me. Because sharing food is the greatest value. Even your Jnanadam, sharing enlightenment and all, when that fellow is alive, you can't go and teach, please learn the Kama Sutra when the fellow is hungry, empty stomach. All your Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, everything is covered for after eating, not the empty stomach. My blessings to the Sattvic Food Fair exhibition. My blessings to all the devotees who are sharing food. Yesterday one devotee gave me a letter that today she is sponsoring for Annalaya. Forgot her name, where is she? My blessings. My blessings. You lose it. And you will become healthy. The whole family will be healthy. When you share food, you will have health. Understand? It is my special blessing. Out of my discretion power, I create this as a rule for this modern age. Kali Yuga. Whoever shares food will have health. I am responsible for that. The energy which expresses through this body will take the responsibility of the health of the people whoever share food. I am not saying you should share only in my name. Even if you share, you don't need to share only in my name. Our devotees, disciples share in my name. Name of Nityananda Annalaya. You have your own name, or you don't even have to have a name. Just start sharing. Sharing food is the highest value. Highest value. So my blessings to all the people who are sharing food. Blessings to Malaysia and Nityananda Dhyanabheda for this great service of sharing food. And I encourage all devotees, disciples, ashramites to do this sharing food as many times as possible. Almost all our temples are running. I know all our temples have a Annalaya where they share food. All of you please have this as a vision statement, put it in your Annalaya. Use the name Annalaya, not Annamandir. Earlier we were using the name Annamandir, now change it to Annalaya. Because I am going to use all this Vidyalaya, Annalaya, Vaidyalaya, Dhyanalaya. We will have all this as a common name. Jnanalaya. Library will be called as Jnanalaya. Meditation center will be called as Dhyanalaya. And Annamandir will be called as, means where we serve food, will be called as Annalaya. Where we share medical care, like a Siddha medicines or any other medical camps or medicines, that will be called as Vaidyalaya. Where we share education for the mundane life and spiritual life, it will be called Vidyalaya. So, if you have quarters for me, whenever I come for stay, it will be called as Anandalaya. So all the temples use the name Annalaya. This should be the vision statement. So the vision statement should be Annam Brahmeti Navyajana. The mission statement should be Annam Bahuguruvita. Vision means food is God. That is the vision. Mission is create as much as you can and share it away. So, with this vision and mission, we should start sharing food and trying to trace the day Ganesha ate food. When I offered, we will declare that day as Annakota day in our mission. we will share food for millions of people on that day, especially. We should have thousands of, or I can say millions of Annalayas around the world helping the people to go beyond hunger and removing their hunger. It's my vision. It is simply possible. See, people should work out of inspiration and for other necessities of their life. They should not be kept in poverty for food. Food should be available for everybody as a basic right, basic need. Hunger should be wiped out. Today, being Ashramite's Day, I'll say a few words on what is being an Ashramite. Ashramite means a person who is very extension of mind, being a Divya Shariri, means experiencing all the auspicious qualities and radiating all those auspicious qualities in your life. Person who dedicates his life for continuous transformation. Understand? If you are here for 21 days, you are dedicating your 21 days of your life for transformation. Person who dedicates his whole life for continuous transformation. That is my first priority. I call him Arhat, that person as Ashramite. Straight, simple definition. Person who dedicates the life for continuous transformation. Even gods are treated in our ashram as ashramites. See, today Anandeshwara and Anandeshwari, they are wearing ashramites dress. We should create such a heaven, place, and already we are successful. Even gods come and want to be ashramites here. They should vacate Kailash and Vaikuntha and all other lokas. Be here in Nityanandapuri. To celebrate life. Continuous transformation. See, even if one experience of Kundalini awakening can give so much of transformation to people, here, every moment your Kundalini is awakened, it's like usually normal people when they get 2-3 diamonds, they make jewels and wear. Here you guys are living in Diamond Hill. What will you do? That is why you take it for granted sometimes. Diamond. We walk every day on this. This is diamond, that is diamond, everywhere diamond. Same way. Once in a while, after 12 years of tapas, Guru just raises his hand, puts his hand on you, on your body shivers and you experience Kundalini awakening, you feel great. But here what happens? Every day. That is why you feel, oh, Kundalini awakening. Which happens every day. Sometimes we take it for granted. That is why we try to tell him to have exhaust pipe separately and allow all the Kundalini to go away. Cover the exhaust pipe, seal it, Let all the Kundalini Awakening work inside you as an intense work. Understand? To create a solid, integrated personality. Wow, these guys are attracting my attention. They say, we are also Ashramite. You are not living it to us. They attend the morning satsang and Pada Puja more regularly than any ashram. These birds live in Chitsavara. Intense, continuous, hard work is one of the straight way to form an integrated personality. See, all these cunning fellows cannot do hard work, cannot continuously work. I have seen. They can do smart work, not hard work. Hard work is the unique quality of an integrated, centered, intelligent person. If you want to move from cunningness to integrity, hypocrisy to intelligence, take up this as your lifestyle. Hard working, taking up beyond what you think you can, and doing it continuously. Sit and bend down and go on doing. Without even allowing you to talk to yourself as, I'm tired, I don't think I can do, what for I should do, what should I do? No. Creation is your life. Go on creating. Anything which stops your creation is your violence, anger, arrogance, ego. Not only you don't have place in our Sangha, you don't have place in the planet Earth. Disappear as early as possible. Good for the planet Earth. Go on creating. Go on creating without looking back. How much you created. Others only should see and measure. You should be constantly running. Others should come and tell you, you already ran 2000 kilometers, you already ran 2000 miles. You should not bother. You should continue to run, and they should run to your speed just even to show the card that you finished 3000 miles, you finished 4000 miles. You should not even turn your head to look at the card. They should keep it in front of your eyes, and they should also run to your speed. Through that way, you should train them how to run to your speed. Even if somebody wants to tell you, you covered so much of kilometer, they should run to your speed and keep the car in front of you. Run and teach to run. People who are trying to tell you, you ran too much. Go on creating. Go on creating. Go on creating. Success is in big things. Happiness is in small things. You should find happiness in small things. Does not mean you will stop living with small things. That should be the inspiration to create big things. Let your inner space be in nothing, so that you will find joy, happiness in small things and reach big thing, which is success. This is the only way to realize God who is in everything. Understand? Let your inner space be in nothing, which is meditation. Find joy and happiness in small things. That should be the understanding about life. With this joy, go on creating big things, success. That should be the policy for your life. With this, you will find God who is in everything. That should be the lifestyle. This is what I call yen living. Being in nothing, finding joy and happiness in small things, and creating big things as success, experiencing God in everything as lifestyle. This is what I call lifestyle, a style of an ashramite. My message for today's Ashramite's Day, for this year, Ashramite's Day, is go on creating. Go on creating. Go on creating auspicious things. Create, create, create. Become a creativity itself. Whenever you create, you are a creator, God Himself. When your whole life becomes such a peak of creativity, you inspire thousands to be creators, you have become creative. Let people remember you, not even as a creator, as creativity itself. Let people remember you as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is not a person, creator, no. It is creativity, energy, source of creation. That's why in the Vedic tradition, we don't say the source as a person. Brahma is also from Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is creativity. Let people remember you as creativity. Go on create, disappear into creation, disappear into creativity. You have eternal life when you die in constantly giving birth to beings. Understand? Disappear into creativity. Then nothing will be left in you for death. Every moment, because you are creative, there is nothing can die in you. My message today for all the ashramites and to the devotees and to the whole world is create, create, create. Go on creating. Not only you should become a creator, you should just become creativity. Let the whole world remember you as creativity. N Kriya is a powerful way to awaken your Kundalini, make you as creativity. Explore the energy of Hiranyagarbha in you. Let me enter into the technique of N Kriya. Then I'll guide you. It's a 7th step. First step, inhale and exhale. Through the left, inhale, exhale through right. Then inhale through right and exhale through left. This is one cycle. Do this 11 times. 11 cycles. Second step, Vastrika. Pull your lower abdomen in and up 21 times. 21 times. Third step, Samana Kriya. Inhale as long as you can, as much as possible. Hold as long as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Hold the lungs empty as long as possible. Do this 21 times. Fourth step, have Sambhavi Mahamudra. Your thumbs on ears, the index finger and middle finger on the eyes, ring finger on the nostrils, little finger on the lips. Lock all the 5 senses and direct all the energies inside and hit the Kundalini towards the Muladhara. Hit the Kundalini which is in your Muladhara through the redirected introvert energy. When you stop all the holes, all the 5 senses, visualize you are hitting with all your energy and power by directing them inside the Kundalini Shakti. Direct all the energies outgoing, internal, inside, and hit your Kundalini so that it can be awakened. Hold as long as you can. When you feel you can't hold anymore, just relax only the nostrils and allow your body to inhale or exhale and balance itself. When you feel you are balanced, start again. Do this at least 21 times. If you are having high blood pressure problem or any other heart conditions, illnesses, any other serious illnesses, lungs trouble, or heart conditions, any other serious health conditions, do not do this Kriya. Just sit throughout the Kriya. Others, you can do it. This is the 4th part. 3rd, then 5th part is intense humming for 7 minutes. 6th part is face the Bidadi banyan tree, stand on your knees and raise your hands and connect with the divine energy of the Master. Feel connected and fill yourself with the divine energy and pour. When you are full, pour it on the ground through surrender. Receive and pour at least 7 times. The 7th step, just sit, feeling connected intensely with Master's energy, radiating strong, positive, loving, blissful, spiritual vibrations to the whole world. I initiate you all into this N Kriya to achieve all the auspicious things in your life. Health, blissful relationships, and wealthy consciousness to attract wealth. and mental fulfillment, happiness, emotional well-being, and spiritual enlightenment. Start the Kriya. Sit in Vajrasana or Padmasana. Close the right nostril with the right tongue. Inhale through the left nostril as deeply as possible. Do slowly but deeply. Inhale as deeply as possible. move to the next step. Do the Vastrika, pulling your lower abdomen in and up 21 times. Don't raise the shoulders, just the lower abdomen. Now move to the third step. Inhale as slowly as possible. Hold your lungs full as long as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Hold your lungs empty as long as possible. Do this Samana Kriya at least 21 times. Start. Do this 21 times. I bless you all who are sitting with us in 796 places through NTV and 18 places in two-way connection, at least in 208 cities, in 31 countries. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss. Nityananda. Thank you.